Hello everyone, and welcome to the third video that I have recorded in the last hour, and basically of that recording time, 40 minutes has been spent at least in videos. So yeah, I'm feeling a little exhausted, and I haven't even got to the global news yet. Oh dear God, there's still global news. Story update. Season of Mayhem. Raid. Soaring. Cloud, bundles, login bonuses. Anyway, let's not dilly-dally. Let us talk about the newest event to come out on the JP side, which is a new feature that has been happening on the JP side is specific unit trials. So we found out about this a couple of days ago, basically on an in-game post, which is about, not that. Is it that? Yeah, it's that. This is a new series trial where basically certain characters get special bonuses for being included in the fight. Taking a look at this one, the characters that get bonuses are Laswell, Fina, CG Sakura, CG Lid, well, they're all CGs. CG, CG Jake, CG Nicole, Beach, Fid, Awakened Rain, Dark Fina, or Majin Fina, Dark Seabreeze Majin Fina, voice is dying, Chocobo Fina, which is the best unit on this list, cheers my lady, and last but not least, Wandering Rain. Now, you may be wondering, how difficult are these trials? Well, they're not quite as difficult as some of the other trials. If we take a look at, oh shoot, I'm gonna get all my raid orbs back. If you take a look at X-Death was a 260 difficulty, and this one is a 260 difficulty, so they're basically holding true, and in comparison, taking a look at Shinryu is 280, so yeah, they are difficult trials, but they are not impossible trials. They are not as stupidly difficult as some of the others. But what is interesting is taking a look at the rewards for this trial, because yes, there are the regular rewards, some lapis, you know, some trust coins. Oh, but wait, what's this at the bottom here? For beating within 20 turns, you actually get a set of abilities for the Brave Exvius units. And this is the interesting part because they are pretty damn good this time. First of all, Laswell, and I'm reading this off my phone because that's where I have it posted. Laswell gets a 8-hit chaining ability with a 750% modifier on it that self gives a 400% damage modifier to his Mirror of Equity, Mirror of Life, Obliterating Mirror, Absolute Mirror for 5 turns. So basically gets a new chaining ability that gives modifiers to his other stuff. He also gets a ability that gives 40% extra attack, 20% or 50% extra attack for dual wielding, 400% modifiers to a whole bunch of his other abilities. Basically, CG Laswell went a giant peg up. Before he was pretty weak, and even with some of the additions that have been added to the JP side, and now he is essentially much fucking better. Is he meta? Probably not, but hey, good for him. He got a little bit of a boost. Next up, let's talk about Fina, because Fina's the next one on my list. Not that Fina. Not that Fina. That Fina. For beating the trial, Fina gets a use in 2 turns Dystopia Prime Heal, Reverse Hearts, Mantopia, Shining Shear, Sacred Burst, Arch Divine Veil, Blossom Heart, Eternal Light, or a whole bunch of other abilities. Basically, she gets W casting. Holy shit. That was the kind of the thing that Fina has been missing for a long time. Or CG Fina has been missing. So getting W casting is already nutty enough. But she also gets an ability that gives extra HP, MP, limit burst crystals per turn, and an extra 5% recovery. Huh. Fina might have just jumped up quite a bit in the healer meta just from beating this trial, so that's pretty nice. Next up on the list is CG Sakura. CG Sakura gets a new chaining ability, single target, 16 hit, lightning, 1600% magic attack that debuffs 100% for lightning resistance for 3 turns on a 2-turn cooldown, available turn 2. So interestingly, hey wait, are these actually in here? I don't know. I guess they don't. Oh yeah, they're here, but they're locked. Aw, what a tease. I could almost show them off. Very strong cooldown that is on, cooldown ability is on a very short cooldown that also gives a pretty strong lightning debuff and is a chaining ability. Nothing to complain about that, even in the slightest. She also gets 20% extra magic, 20% HP, 20% MP, 5 limit burst crystals per turn, and a limit burst damage modifier of 1.3 times, and an extra 5% MP recovery per turn. CG Sakura did pretty damn good for herself. Cool. Next up is Lid, and Lid is one that I'm really worried about because of what it could mean. First new ability she gets is an AoE 1 turn, 50% physical or magical killers for the team against machines. 6-turn cooldown, available turn 1. Only lasts for 1 turn, but giving machine killer, wow, that is really interesting since there are a lot of machine bosses. She also gets 30% extra defense, 30% extra spirit, 100% blind resistance, and 3 limit burst crystals per turn, because, you know, her limit burst is pretty freaking good. Nifty Neato, moving on Areno. Next up is CG Jake, which... he's a level 102. CG Jake also gets an interesting one, W casting for his abilities to either use Flame Assault, Ice Assault, Electro Assault, Light Assault, just basically all of his abilities, so W casting, again, goes a long way in a lot of units. But it's his other ability that is pretty insane, 100% extra true dual wield bonus, or true dual hand bonus, sorry. Slightly misspoke there. Extra true dual hand bonus, so for equipping 1 weapon, 25% accurate accuracy, a 1.5 times limit burst damage modifier to his already other modifiers, so be a little scared of that, and an extra 5% MP per turn. So yeah, it kind of goes a little bit of a way to make CG Jake even better. I'd be really curious if this makes enough of a difference, but for now, definitely interested, to say the least. Maybe all that limit burst is just stacking up and we really just don't understand how dangerous it is. Next up is everybody's favorite buffer, unless you're on the global side, in which case it's Sargavoth, is Nicol. There he is. Nicol! Say hello to Nicol because you should not underestimate this guy. First of all, Nicol gets an ability that is absolutely effing insane. An AoE 50% damage reduction for 3 turns to the party. Holy shit! An AoE stop debuff for the party, and an AoE 100% resistance to stop for 3 turns. So he removes stop, he provides stop resistance for 3 turns. This is a 4-turn cooldown on available turn 1. He also gets extra defense, magic, spirit, HP of 30%, and sleep resistance. Woo! Okay, yeah, Nicol has a big claim now to be one of the strongest buffers in the entire game because of 50% damage mitigation, and he still has his other ability that gives, you know, damage mitigation, so yeah. He has this, he has the other one, he can basically keep damage mitigation up by himself. That is incredibly valuable. Dude, damn, that's worth the trial alone. Next up is Fid, or if you don't know and you're on the global side, basically Beach, Fina, and Lid, who I think... There they are. They're what they get is much more muted. AoE or an ability AoE 75% light resistance for 5 turns, a 2000 HP heal with a 13.5 times modifier, which is pretty nice for 5 turns, and an AoE 3000 HP heal. Okay, so some regen and whatnot. Extra defense, extra spirit of 20%, and some light resistance. So, hey, that's all pretty nice. Continuing on, next up on our list of units to talk about is Awakened Rain, who is definitely somewhere in my list. There he is. He gets an ability AoE 80% fire and earth resistance for 3 turns to the party, so that's pretty nice. 20% extra spirit, 20% MP, 3 limit burst crystal fill per turn. Pretty honestly okay, and given that that doesn't really put him anywhere close to what CG Charlotte can kind of do, so yeah, feels generally nice. Just a nice buff, but not necessarily too game-breaking there. Dark Fina is the next one. She can basically get some modifiers from a cooldown ability for a whole bunch of her stuff for 10 turns. It's on a 10-turn cooldown available turn 1, and she gets triple cast of her abilities for 9 turns. Cool! They gave her triple cast. Nice. Other than that, she also gets 50% extra magic, 20% HP, 20% MP, recover 7% MP per turn, and 30% wind and earth resistance. So cool for Dark Fina, them giving her a little bit. And basically kind of the same thing for Seabreeze, Dark Fina, I don't think. Just slightly higher mods for Seabreeze, Dark Fina, I guess. At least the way I read it. Okay, not exactly the most exciting one for me, but that's fine. Next up is Chocobo Fina. Chocobo Fina gets a self 300% modifier for one of her abilities for 10 turns, with a self increase of 75% limit burst damage for 10 turns on a 10-turn cooldown available turn 1. This is one of the strongest units in the game. I have said this for multiple times now, and the fact that she essentially just gets more stuff, and specifically just, you know, higher modifiers and extra limit burst damage is insane. So yeah, that's just crazy. Continuing on, she also gets 40% extra spirit and some more wind and light resistance, which she already had a fair bit of, so it just makes her more durable, and I maintain this is just one of the most powerful units in the entire game that I don't even have properly equipped, so that's how powerful she is. But yes, for doing the trial, it does give some amazing abilities to some older units that are from the Brave Exvius category. Of course, these Brave Exvius characters get bonus stats for going into the fight, so it gives you some incentive for using them. It also gives some modifiers. I don't know how difficult the trial is. I haven't tried it yet. The game just went up. I haven't even really done any of my raids or anything like that, but these are the kind of abilities. I would say that the biggest winners out of all of this are very, 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 very easily, first of all, definitely Nicole, definitely Fina, and probably I would say CG Sakura, because that new chaining ability sounds really, really good. Excuse me while I kill a raid boss quite most thoroughly. Anyway, so yeah, I think that there is a... Did I go on the wrong difficulty again? I may have went on the wrong difficulty. That seemed too easy to hit the cap. No, I hit the right difficulty. Cool. That's how you do that much damage on turn 1. Anyway, so yeah. I will be testing out the trial in the near future, and because those abilities are just too damn juicy to ignore. So until next time, see ya.